Hello everyone! In our last video we learned about encapsulation, how to hide data inside a class using the private keyword to make our programs more secure. Today we are going to go deeper and focus specifically on getters and setters. Getters and setters. The methods that allow us to safely access and modify that hidden private data. So when we make a variable private, nobody outside the class can access it directly. Let me create a few private variables. Data type string, the name of the variable name, access modifier private, data type int, and the name of the variable age, and I do the same for the next variable. So if we try to access these variables directly from outside, Java immediately gives us an error because these variables are private. So how do we access them safely? Through getters and setters, sharp public methods that act as control gateways to our private data. Think of it like a bank wall. You cannot walk directly into the wall and take money. You go through a teller who verifies your identity and processes your request in a controlled way. Getters and setters are exactly like that teller. They provide control and secure access to your or our private data. So a setter is a public method used to set or assign, the one that you feel more comfortable to use, the value of a private variable. So a setter is a public method used to set or assign the value of a private variable. The rules for writing a setter are the written type, which is always void. Please remember this. A setter does not return anything. And then the next rule is naming convention. So the method name starts with the set followed by the variable name with its first letter capitalized. So for a variable called age, the setter is something like word set, and the first letter of the next word should be capitalized age, something like this. Or for the variable called name, the setter is set name. And for a variable called GPA, the setter is set GPA. And the syntax, let me write the syntax as well. Syntax. And the syntax for the setter method is public. We make the access modifier public. Then, as I said, we write void as a return type, void. And then the name of the variable, for example, this one. And then curly braces. And inside the curly braces, we write this dot age equal age, semicolon. And inside the parentheses, we write the parameter. And the data type should be what we have assigned at the beginning of creating our variable, which is int, and the name of our parameter. So please remember that this keyword here, this keyword in here, when the parameter name here, it is the name of the parameter age, and the instance variable name, here is the instance variable name, are the same. This dot age, this part, refers to the instance variable, while age alone refers to the parameters here. This avoids confusion. So this part refers to the instance variable, and age with this keyword refers to the parameter. The rules are like these to remember. Now let's talk about getter. So a getter is also a public method used to get, or you can also say retrieve, the value of a private variable. That's cool. A getter is a public method used to get or retrieve the value of a private variable. So the rules for writing a getter are like return type. So the return type for a getter method must match the type of the variable it returns. So for an int variable, the return type is int. For a string variable, the return type is a string. And the second rule is naming convention. So the same rule as the setter method, the method name starts with get followed by the variable name with its first letter capitalized. So for a variable called age, the getter is get age. That is the name of the method. Or for a variable named name, the get is get name. And for a GPA, it is get GPA. So let's write the syntax as well, and then we will go for the practical side of our video. So syntax is public, the access modifier, data type, and for example, if you want to write for the get age, and return age, semicolon, and close the curly braces. So now let's put all together. The name of our class is student. We have three private variables, name, age, and GPA. Now let's write the first set method. For first variable, which is name. So syntax is public for the set, then void. Let me bring it to show you. So syntax public void, and then we have set name curly braces. So inside the parentheses we write the data type string name, and then this dot name equal name. I don't want to over explain, but please remember that this name refers to the parameter, and this dot name refers to the instance variable that we have created at the beginning. So now let's write its get method. For the get, like we have public, then the data type, which is string, and then get name and return what? Variable name, right? So let's go for the next variable. I think it's easy now. You can also copy this part and paste it for two other variables. Just let's change the name. The next one was age, okay, age, and the data type was int, age, and age. Age, and please return age. Let's write return. We have forgotten to write the data type. One of the problems that when we copy and paste it is that sometimes we forget to refine or refix things. What if we go for the two variables manually? So again, access modifier public, then void because it's a setter, then set keyword, and the name with a capital first letter, and inside the parentheses we write our data type, the name of the variable, then we here write keyword this dot GPA equal GPA. And semicolon. Let's do the same for our method get public. The data type is double get GPA, and curly braces, please return the value of GPA for us. So Now let's use these getters and setters. Let me write our main method, how we can bring in main keyword, then control, press space and enter. We create an object first. How we can create an object? We copy the name of the class, paste it here. We create a name for our reference variable, st, then new keyword, and again the name of the class, parentheses and semicolon. Now let's assign the value by using the method set. Set, for example, name. What we want to assign, for example, Ahmad. So set for the next variable age. It is an integer, for example, 20, and st.set GPA. Set double can be any value, 3.8 for example. Now let's print our values. We use this out, and we can use also concatenation name, class, and we write set st.get his name, right? Name. It is the same for two other variables. Concatenation age, class symbol st.age, get age, and for the last variable, what is it? GPA, concatenation, then st.get GPA. Of course, it is not necessary to use concatenation, you can just remove this part. Now let's run the program. Yeah, name is Ahmad, age is 20, and GPA is 3.8. We never touch the variable, the private variables directly. We always went through the setters to assign values and the getters to retrieve them. This is clean, secure, and professional Java code. Now here is something really exciting. You do not have to type all of these getters and setters manually every time. So Eclipse has a built-in shortcut that generates them automatically for you. Here is how to use it. Let me come here, let me just put my cursor here, write your class, then your private variables, then right-click everywhere inside the editor or Eclipse. Right-click, oops, yeah. And then we search for source. Yeah, here, source. And then we go for generate getters and setters. Generate getters and setters. We click on that. Okay, the type contains no folds or offers have already your getters and setters. Let me just comment these setters and getters. Now let's come back here, right click, source, then generate getters and setters. Yeah, here we can see that all things that we want, we should just, if we want a getter and setters for age, we click on that with those variables that we want, or we can also just click on select all and then click on generate. Yeah, we have setters and getters. This saves you a huge amount of time, especially when your class has many variables, and instead of writing dozens of methods manually, Eclipse generates them in all seconds. So, and this is getters and setters in Java. And if you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to like and subscribe the channel so you never miss a lesson. See you in the next one.